You got some questions for me? Hey, you're going to have to introduce me. Don't white on me. And then you can speak better than me than I speak about myself.
You're already recording.
What do you want to tell me that for? Shit. Tell me.
What up, though? This motherfucking Fontaine the Titan.
What up, though? This Omega, the motherfucking Titan.
I thought you said you was gonna let me introduce this and this is the God, the Most High, Omega, the Titan, on the motherfucking Fontaine the Titan channel. How you feeling, brother?
Man, I feel great.
Good, man.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Feeling very, very beautiful. You know how you feel beautiful inside and out. So that's what we all about. All right, dig this here. It's been a long time coming, so this is Return of the Titans. So, for those of you that don't know, we gets it in here. Real occult style, real, what's the word I'm looking for? Metaphysical. Deep, esoteric. You know what I'm saying?
Not that mainstream.
Not that mainstream, you know what I'm saying? So, we hitting y'all hard with just information that can change your life if you decide to accept it. Now, the one thing that we did establish is that this information ain't for everybody. What you got to say about that?
Definitely not for everybody. This ain't for no weak ass people. You know what I'm saying? You got to put in work,
right,
to get higher levels of spirituality. You got to put in work because the benefits is so vast and so beautiful.
Right.
When you do put in the work, the things that you got to do is not easy. Most things that I do,
right,
most people can't do.
People be scared of this type of stuff. Look,
they don't even want to do it.
Look,
they don't want to do it, but the benefits is so beautiful at the end of the day. The spiritual elevation, the leveling up. You know, just the day to day.
I think it's about time we put out a disclaimer then.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Disclaimer number one. You may not be able to put in this type of work if you're putting in work someplace else. And what I mean by that is if you're in some type of religion or something, that's a whole different type of work that you're doing. And you know, remember I used to disrespect the Christians?
Yeah, I remember you was going hard on me. You was going hard on that one time, bro.
Yeah,
for real.
Man.
You want to go off up in the churches and everything.
Man, what, man? What's the name of them people who ran up in the church?
Man, some little organization in
Detroit.
I ain't sure that
I don't know who they was, but they had ran up in one of these big churches, and I feel them though, because it's misinformation, at the very least.
But that's what they feel that we get, misinformation. So the whole thing is, no matter what information that you receive, and if it's helping you grow and helping you elevate, grow with that shit. I just know that when I was with the Christianity and the religion, it was not helping me grow, it was not helping me elevate, it was keeping me down. And ever since I found my spiritual path, and I've been going on the spiritual path, I've been seeing the benefits. I've been a master manifester at this point.
So I seen something, right? That's what I had seen. Just like you talking about, you know what I'm saying, this changed your life for the better. Some people say that this changed their life for the worse. I seen somebody, I ain't gonna say no names, but she is pretty and she is a boss out here. You know what I'm saying? Still, regardless of what she doing. But she was into the occult, it seemed. You know what I'm saying? And then I guess whatever happened in her life or situation, she went back to Jesus. What you got to say about that?
I mean, what I got to say about that is this. In this reality that we live in, everything has to play out here.
Right.
Everything has to play out, even situations like this.
Right.
But I mean,
this not for everybody. That's the point. That's the
she
point.
Went back to Jesus.
She went back to Jesus, man. I was looking at her channel and I'm like, you know what? She all right with me because she tried it and it didn't work out for her. If this don't work out for you and you scared, go to church.
Scared, go to church.
Scared, go to church. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we talking about life changing. First of all, this is magic.
Yeah.
Magic, right?
That's what they call it.
High level magic, magic with a K. Right. So, in order to understand how this magic works, about creating your reality, about really changing your life the way we talking about, it starts off, y'all already know I got a whole series on it, on the Kabbalion, this book right here.
This is my Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That's my Bible.
So a lot of the stuff we talk about when we say it's all right if you're a Christian, look, it's not that we condoning it. We just got a different understanding that it's going to be like that. It's going to be a lot of people. Most of the majority of the people in the world are not going to get this.
It's not for everybody.
Not for
It's
everybody.
for very few, very, very few.
This is for the people who consider themselves gods, goddesses, titans.
And not just because you black. But just because you a nigga, you ain't no God. And that's just real. That's just real. Just because you a nigga, gotta make you know God. You know?
What makes you a god?
Your mindset.
Mindset.
Your understanding that you is in control of everything that's within your reality.
Right.
Understanding that ain't no devil. You
Right.
the devil. And you Jesus.
Right.
At the same time.
At the same time.
When you understand that, but most people don't get that, they're just walking around autonomous.
Duality, right? Duality. Everything, that's the whole Adam and Eve story. You know what I'm saying? Let's break it down like this, right? You got Adam and Eve, masculine, feminine, right? Duality. When they bit from that fruit, it took them from the bliss of ignorance
Ignorance is bliss.
ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
To knowing, right? And that's what's going on down here right now. It's
Alchemy.
yeah, but you're either going to be stuck in the bliss of ignorance, which is a lot of people are. Like, hey,
They love
ignorance, yeah, they love it.
They love it.
You know what I'm saying?
They say the more knowledge you get, the more you suffer. You know, the more knowledge you get, the more you suffer. And I understand what I say. I understand that saying. You know, for real. But that's not gonna stop me from getting knowledge.
No, not at all.
That just helped me to be stronger and tougher. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So the reality is, what most people don't understand is this reality is not what you think. That's the bottom line. So
Shit, it ain't even what we think.
it's
just know it
beyond.
ain't- We just know it ain't what we thought it was.
Well, the principles of what they be trying to teach is science, right? Those principles explain this part of the reality, the physical side, right?
Right.
So when you get to the stuff that goes beyond, they can't explain it because they only can use one half of the polarity to explain things.
I'm scared.
You see what I'm saying? So they'll tell you about the Big Bang,
Okay.
but what came before the Big Bang?
Right. They can't explain it.
They'll tell you that the Big Bang came out of nothingness, right? So, but nothing, by definition, is still something.
Right.
It's just undefinable. And from in the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So basically it came out of some unknown or the chaos realm, the triple black. So they boom, it spawns, right?
Right.
But if this is the only reality that you know, and you grow up living in it, who am I to tell you that it's not what it is?
And that's what people try to do every day. I used to try to do that. But then I started to understand the word truth better.
Right.
Understand that truth got two sides to it, like everything else got two sides to it. It's absolute truth, and then it's your truth. You know what I'm saying? Your truth is what's true for you because how you was raised. You know what's true for you because of what city you stay in, what country you stay in. You know what's true for you because of what you understand about men or women.
Right.
Because if you go to somewhere else in another country, what's their truth might not be our truth.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's like
Truth
R.
is-
Kelly getting in trouble over here, but over there he'd be a king. They marry little 13-year-old girls all the time over there in Saudi Arabia and shit like that, you know?
Truth
So,
is relative. It's relative
Exactly.
to you and your situation. So truth really isn't true.
that's where the polarity come in, understanding the law of polarity come involved because
Everything has two sides.
it's not too many people out here in this world that's going to say that they had a beautiful life all the way through. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Even the tragedy of losing a parent. You might have had nothing else happen in your life, but somebody around you close to you gonna die.
Right.
Even if you went to school, got your PhD, all of that stuff, got married, had your kids and all of that, somebody gonna die.
Yeah,
And it's gonna affect you. You know?
Yeah.
And so that's the one thing we know we can't control. That's the one thing we know that we out of bounds on as far as having the scope of that from the position that we in.
But when you get to higher levels of understanding, you start to understand even death differently.
Right.
You know, you understand that it's just a transition.
Mm-hmm.
It's not death in a sense. Because to die, either D-I-E or D-Y-E,
Mm-hmm.
to die means to change.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. It's a transition. We change.
Right.
And that's the only thing that's constant in this reality is change.
Right.
So it's just making a change from being on this plane of existence and going to your next plane of existence.
Right.
People don't understand that you can still, when people make that transition, you can still be in contact with them.
Exactly. You access it through your dreams. You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely one way you can for sure access.
For sure access.
You're a pro on that.
Yeah, I do a few things in my dreams that. And here's the thing about it, what makes it how you know it's a different reality. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Especially coming from that dream state, right?
Right.
Because I done had all types of people who done passed away come back to me in my dreams, giving me messages, all types of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope.
So, let me go. All right, Bo Slim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Bo Slim, best friend Woody. When his uncle passed, that following night, I ended up having a dream, him coming to me, explaining to me everything that happened. Now at the time, I ain't know all the details of what happened. When I ended up finding out what happened later, it made sense, the message that he gave to me.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So, it builds up like that. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
you're on a level to understand those type of things and interpret the spiritual meaning that's inside of your dreams instead of like, man, I just had a dope ass dream.
Right, that's what people
Or
look
this
at.
crazy ass dream, man, bro, was in my dream. You wouldn't even understand.
Your dreams are to guide you. Your dreams are to give you understanding, you know? And it's really a whole nother reality that's where the true you really lies in, your consciousness. When you separate yourself from this body,
Right.
whether you die or you astral traveling, you in a different dimension,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So people think that when you die, it's the hell that you're going through, whatever it is you're going through here in this world. If you decide to keep holding on to that anger, that fear, that doubt,
Attachments.
yeah, all of that, it's going to go with you on the outside, everywhere you travel to. And it's going to end up guiding the motherfucker ass right back here.
That's real talk. We don't understand we doing all of this to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we die.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything is mental.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is mental. That's what people can't grasp because
Right.
it's so far-fetched that it's simple.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really telling me I control everything with my mind? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you believe it, then it's true. I say.
I should.
You see what I'm saying? Let your words make manifest. Abracadabra. You know? It's everything. That's the number one Hermetic principle.
Right.
The all is mind and the universe is mental. So if the all is mind and the universe is mental, if you master your mind, then you master the universe.
Right.
Now say you don't master your mind, but you're on a constant practice every day to master your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's going to be better than not working on it at all.
Right.
Because you start to see the benefits of mastering your mind when your days start getting better. Like a person that understands that we really do create our reality can change their reality overnight. By the time they go to sleep and wake up the next day, everything could be changed for them.
Right.
If they understand that it's all mental. Now, just because it's mental don't mean it's simple.
Right.
You gotta do the work. You gotta do the work. You gotta do the meditations. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know thyself.
Right.
Understand what your purpose is and what it is that you're using your mind for. What is it that you're creating? Because we creating it haphazardly before we aware.
Right.
We creating haphazardly. We wonder why people say, man, I know you've heard this before. Man, if I would create my own reality, I wouldn't be putting myself in this. Yes, you would.
Right.
Because that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't understand. Ignorance is bliss, but there's another side to that too.
Be miserable in your own ignorance. That's where we come to. You know what I'm saying? Because look, what is the first video we did since what before the pandemic that jumped off?
Yeah, we ain't getting that.
And everybody that's spiritual that I synced on top.
Because when you understand that you create your own reality, you ain't got to worry about what's going on outside.
Right.
The only way that what's going on outside starts to affect you is when you believe in it.
Exactly.
When it becomes true to you.
Exactly.
Because that's the only thing that you're going to see is what's true for you, what's true to you.
That's why.
It's the only thing that you're going to experience. That's why the subconscious mind is represented by Osiris, the ruler of the underworld, because your subconscious mind is really the hidden God.
Right.
That's really the hidden God. That's
Right.
really what's creating everything that's going on. And for you to start to understand your subconscious mind, knowing thyself, will be the most powerful thing that I think that anybody can do.
That's what lives on, though. The subconscious mind, you know,
Right.
and reprogramming that in this reality. That's the challenge for most people because it takes time. When I first started, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm about to create me a mantra. I'm
Right.
successful, I'm peaceful, I'm prosperous, I'm healthy.
Yep.
I'm successful, I'm peaceful, I'm prosperous, I'm healthy.
Yep.
People think I'm lying when I say I would say that 10,000 times a day if I could. I would wake up saying it, I would go to sleep saying it, I would listen to music saying
And
it.
now you living it.
Exactly.
And you still say it.
I done added even more mantras. You know, that's the whole thing. It's about building up, building up. How can you do the next thing if you haven't started the first thing? You know?
Yeah.
How can you meditate for an hour if you ain't tried to meditate for 10 minutes?
10 minutes, right. Right. So we'll start off to take the big bite.
Right.
You know? Start off
Baby
small.
steps.
Just start off.
Right.
That's the whole thing. Just start off. Even if you're only doing it once or twice. If you only did it once this month, you know? At least you started. Now do it again twice next month. And
Right.
increase on that. Be
Your-
better.
Your ego will bow down.
Yeah, it
to
will.
it.
Yeah, it will.
It's gonna bow down to it. It's gonna be like, fuck it, this is what we doing now. All right, then.
Yeah.
It's gonna be mad. You'll be mad at first, like, then next thing you know, all right, this is what we doing then. All right, that's cool. You right on with it.
That's right.
You ain't gonna fight yourself. You just gotta get past fighting yourself. That first part, your own worst enemy.
Yeah. But when you want it bad enough, 'cause I wanted this bad enough.
Look. Fuck the white man and people thinking that somebody holding them down.
Who the fuck is that?
You are your own worst enemy.
White
Look,
man. Who's that?
I understand that throughout history, they have done what we would call some pretty repugnant,
Okay.
atrocious,
Okay.
fucked up shit.
Diabolical.
Diabolical.
Yeah.
However, this really is a product of our mind state.
Right.
Going through our sleep state, going through the zodiac. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's fitting we got the zodiac behind us.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Going into now the age of Aquarius, the information age, coming out of the age of Pisces, the age of belief. You see?
See.
Then coming from before that, what was it? The age of Taurus.
Yeah.
You know? But each one got their levels of consciousness that represents the rise and the fall. So we're going into higher states of consciousness. Automatically.
Right. Just because
People being born
just because
automatically
of the time.
woke.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Look, there's so many of us that grew up as Christians that are not Christians anymore. Period.
Right.
Period. We
Yeah,
out the
that's
game.
new.
Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah, we wasn't growing up like it's a whole new age, a
Yeah.
whole new. They may be lost, but they ain't growing. They already got a heads up. They ain't fucking with the Jesus shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they know that's fairy tales. They know that's fairy tales.
They already look. They
Yeah.
already ain't getting nothing for Christmas. They ain't believe in Santa in the first place. See, you know.
You know what I'm saying? But see the zodiac, right? See the Kabbalion tell you the Hermetic Principles and let you know. The law of polarity lets you know it's two sides to everything. Everything is dual. Everything has two sides. So with understanding that, even the zodiac got two sides.
Right.
Because and this is a simple way of explaining it, but it can get deeper than this. The zodiac got two sides because the zodiac can tell you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that same zodiac that's telling you who you are is telling you your prison as well.
Right.
Because if that's who you believe and that's who you are, then that's who you
Exactly
are. And
who
you
you
can't
gonna
be
be.
anything more than that because you stuck with I am this.
Right.
I am a Virgo. So everything that comes with Virgo, yeah, that's because I'm a Virgo.
But this is how it builds the ego.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because when you're born, boop, your ego only this big.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So these natural energies that these planets and stars and this whole cosmos,
Right.
right?
Right.
Pouncing on you.
Yeah.
Pouncing on you. Feeding that body energy. Already.
Yeah.
You ain't even did nothing yet. That's why they tell you read your birth chart. They didn't tell you which ones was already on your head.
Yeah.
And the characteristics
Right. That goes
that
along with
it automatically are going to be bestowed on you
it.
to a degree.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
That's the prison part I'm talking about.
Yeah. Because that ain't the only thing that's a factor. Of course, the biggest factor is who your mama and your daddy is and how you're raised and what
Right.
they tell you.
You gotta add all of that in.
Add that into that.
Yeah.
Add into the kids around you, the school system you go to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Add in this whole, look, you gotta pay for shit, finances, you know?
Yeah. All that's taking a toll. That's where this book come in at.
Uh-huh.
Pick that book up right there.
Yes, no.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
chakras. That's where this book come in at. The chakras and understanding your chakra system.
Right.
And how to balance your chakra and understanding who you are. That's part of knowing thyself.
Every zodiac, every planet is associated with a chakra.
Yep.
I don't think it's in this book here. There's one upstairs.
Yep.
But,
That's correspondence.
yeah.
Ain't no such
And
thing
so-
as coincidence.
Right. So as you balance your chakras, that is you ultimately overcoming that zodiac that was beating them off of you.
Right. Right.
When you balance your chakras,
Right.
that gets the zodiac off of you.
That's
Unless you
you're
want to
taking your
continue
power-
believing it.
Taking your power back. You're taking your
You're
power
right.
back.
Because you can still balance your chakras and still give all that power back to
Something outside of yourself.
Indeed.
Whatever the fuck that may be. You know? But the whole thing about the prison, because everything has two sides, so your zodiac can explain to you who you are and a lot of things about yourself, help you understand yourself as well, but it can also imprison you in that way because it's going to lock you into believing that that's exactly who you are and you're nothing more than that. But the way that I understand the zodiac is that in our birth chart, is we don't just have our sun sign, or our rising sign, or our moon sign. We got, most of us have all of them in there.
Yeah, every node, every celestial, you know, in our cosmic universe is on your birth chart.
So that means that you want to start to understand, know thyself, understand yourself, and how do you see that as each one of the zodiacs within yourself, and then overcome all of those and become the 13th zodiac, which is the sun. You know,
Sun.
that's the whole thing, is to overcome that.
Jesus.
That
Become
part.
Jesus.
Yeah. Because we live in hell. We live in hell. You know? This is
resurrect.
What they call this Malkuth.
Yeah.
You know? So we got to get the Kepler. You know? The crown. Malkuth is hell. This is the worst form of existence, they say. Read the books that I done read. This is the worst form of existence.
I think it's going deeper than that.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Tell
it's
me
going
about
deeper
that.
than that.
What's
I
that
think it's
about?
going deeper than that. Because, you know, you only go by things and what you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And starting to understand the reality that we're living in, the wave particle duality, understanding that everything is waves,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Potential.
all potential energy,
Mm-hmm.
everything made out of zeros and ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a virtual reality, but we live in it.
Right.
That's just the bottom line. But we think when we put on those headsets, what's the new one called by them niggas?
Oculus.
The Oculus. You put on the Oculus and you think you're going into a virtual reality. But the next level is lower than Malkuth because they're making these new bodies,
Mm-hmm.
regenerating hearts, and all of that. So all they need is your consciousness to be dialed into this video game, and you gonna really have fucking zombies chasing your ass while we watching it on movies. Start thinking like, wow, now they gonna beat you in a reality where you gonna think that shit for real, because your consciousness is gonna be wrapped up into that game, and you not knowing that that's now another level lower than now.
Free Guy.
Woo! Yeah.
Free Guy.
That movie.
That movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It explains it all.
Yeah. While
Explains
people
it
looking
all.
at it as entertainment, trying to take something, pay attention. Pay attention.
It goes even because that movie, look, it's showing you as well on that movie that these programs, as unconscious as they are, right? Everything has a consciousness. It's just whether or not it identifies itself.
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying? This, even inanimate objects.
Right.
And that's what's the point of that. That's the digital reality. The new digital universe they created. And that's why they keep on showing you DC universe and Marvel universe and everything telling you Power Universe.
Power Universe.
All these stories intertwined. We sitting there watching it, but we doing the same thing right here. Watching who the president of the United States is.
Right, that's it.
You think you look? What, you don't think they gonna put motherfucking? He an actor.
Right, you can't wait to get down there and vote.
They voted for an actor.
Yeah.
When the first time they did it?
No, about the 4th or 5th.
See, I know at least Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. It was others before him.
Man,
I was in the
actors.
movies. Get out of here.
This guy play a good president in real life.
And this real life. This real life. I mean, this real life. I mean, we know that this is an illusion.
Right.
It's like clay, because we know that for a fact because our mind can literally change our tomorrow. But we know from experience that it can. So this reality can't be real if we can change it with our mind.
Right.
But at the same time, this is real. This is as real as it gets. Everything still got two sides. This is as real as it gets.
Just like us.
That's real. and we hiring actors as our president to represent the country that we live in. How can y'all take this shit serious?
Hey, somebody got mad at me because I said I didn't vote. I was like, man, that got to be the silliest shit to be mad at me for, though, because
That's the whole thing, is stop giving a fuck about any of this shit.
It's not real enough for you to give a fuck about like that. But that's when this level of consciousness comes
You
into
can't tell
play.
him that, ain't, because his truth is
Yeah, that shit matter to him.
Right.
That's why that shit make a difference in his life.
right, and it do. It
I don't
affects
give a
him.
fuck how much they raise the taxes. I live in abundance.
Man, regardless.
Look.
What you say about the cockroach?
I say if they blew this motherfucker up with a goddamn nuclear goddamn bomb weapon and there wasn't shit left to eat but cockroaches, I'll be king motherfucking cockroach.
Okay.
Because
Still abundance.
because this whole reality won't matter. I'll just be sitting in this bitch like that. Y'all
It's
still
mental.
have to come to me.
It's mental. We tell ourselves we abundance so
Give a
much.
fuck what they do
that
with
we
the
started-
reality around me.
This is what you do. You say what you want until you see what you say.
Exactly.
We're examples of that. We done showed each other. We done showed each other. Look, say this. 2 years later we live it. Say this. 6 months later we live it. Make a mantra saying what we want, because we doing this intentionally. This is not this reality that we living in. Like, I guess you could say we know secret codes or whatever.
It's got the cheat code. That's all it is. This is the cheat code.
You feel me?
This is up, down, left, right, A, B, start. Select start.
Right.
Y'all can see OGs, y'all don't even know that code. You know what I'm saying? But shit,
That's what it is, because life's a game, but it's not fair. I break the rules, so I don't care.
right.
I mean,
So here's the thing. The universal laws, right?
right,
The first three are the immutable laws.
right,
You cannot move, break, bend them.
right.
Because though it is what it is. Ain't nothing outside the mind. All is mind, the universe is mental, flat out, that's that. It ain't
Whether
nothing
you
changing.
believe it or not. You don't gotta believe this shit or not.
Right. Look, the law of correspondence, as above, so below.
That's right here.
Boom, boom.
As above,
Blaze.
so below. Where the place is at.
They ain't even knowing.
You know everything. I give everything my own spiritual meaning. I don't give a
You know
fuck.
what I'm saying? Hey, look, the sign right there. You know what I'm saying? Infinity too, right in the middle. You know what
Feel
I'm
me?
saying? Look, letting y'all know every symbol and sign is stolen from somewhere. It's all lust. But here's the thing. Law of vibration.
Right.
Everything vibrates, everything moves, nothing rests.
Right.
This is just period.
Right.
There is nothing within or without existence that doesn't have a vibration to it.
Right. Be it fast or slow.
Being fast or slow. So the vibrations that we talking about are high levels of vibration, love, peace. You see what I'm saying?
These things vibrate faster.
Right.
They vibrate
It
faster.
unlocks your DNA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you could look at your DNA, how you got your DNA constructed, your mind, your thoughts are going to unlock superpowers within your DNA. Period.
That's real.
It's just up to you to vibrate on these higher frequencies of love, peace, abundance, joy.
Right.
You know?
We literally mean they vibrate on a higher frequency. If you measure them, they vibrate higher than the thing that's less of them, which are the negative things.
I did a video on that too.
Exactly. Go check out his video on that.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's someone on, man. Return of the Titans. The Titans are back. It is motherfuckers, man.
Tighten up. For real. Tighten the fuck up. You know? For real. Shout out to Brother Panic, man. Drinking on that brother on that Panic pack in the tea too. For real talk, man.
You think you want to keep on going?
Yeah, why not?
Fuck it, why not?
I'm chilling. I'm still sipping on my tea. Man, you ain't even much hit the blood.
Man, you know I get so much into this, man. I just keep on.
Why stop?
Man,
We're kicking it, man. Whoever watch this. Whoever don't, it wasn't for you anyway. You know? For real.
No, I got some new subscribers too. Shout out to my new subscribers. I really appreciate everybody appreciating the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
And if y'all watching this, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share this.
Yeah, for sure. Because you know what? It's been so long I be forgetting to say all of that because I'm really all about the information. And when I first started doing the videos, man, I was real stiff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was, but
You
I like
get
this.
in your groove.
Yeah, I like this information need to be shared though. You know what I'm saying? This is something that's important to be shared.
A lot of things. See, people give things importance. They tell themselves that this is important.
Right.
That is important. This is important. And they be like running around, scrambling in life, running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to do all of the things that they label important to, because they only important to you.
Right.
Now, when you look at these things for what they really are, and the seriousness of them, and the seriousness of life, then you can start to take the levels of importance down and have only a couple of things in your life that's really, truly important.
Right.
Not all of the things that we just label important. And that's helped alleviate a lot of stresses that people be having. Because everything is perspective. You know?
Right.
It's about how we look at things. If we look at things like they're important, they're gonna raise your blood pressure if you ain't getting to them on time.
Access to the fourth law. The fourth law, the law of polarity.
That's right.
Law of polarity. If you don't understand the law of polarity, that is what keeps you in arguments. That is what keeps your emotions everywhere. That's what keeps you in a low state of mind. Because it's always my slogan. When I say it's always another way.
Yeah.
It's always another way.
Yeah.
It's always another way to look at things. There's always more information that can be added to give you a different perspective.
When we want to be in our right mind, we have to understand that everything. See, these laws, they are within and without everything. It's in everything that's in existence. So when he's speaking the law of polarity, you want to be in your right mind, you got to understand that it's another side to everything that you're talking about.
And you could decide to jump off and not give a fuck. Hop off that polarity pole. Because
That's real.
love and hate is the same thing.
Yes.
I approve.
True.
I approve. Alright? You got this young man madly in love with this young lady, right?
Right.
Madly in love with this young lady. He'll do anything for this young lady.
Right. And love being on a high vibration, right?
Love being on the highest vibration.
Okay, I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? Love the fuck out of her.
Right, I'm listening.
So he decides that he gonna start hanging around her house and sneaking in the bushes, making sure she get home safe.
That's what they called it. They call it now.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right, I'm with it.
She hate this nigga.
I understand.
She hate this
I
nigga.
understand what okay.
All that love energy going one way,
Right.
or what he would perceive as love.
Right. That's
Because
his
it's
truth.
his truth,
That's
his
his
perspective of what love is. That scale. His love do that.
Right.
And she don't perceive that as love. She perceives that as crazy.
Right. I would too.
I had a stalker before. He was real nice.
She was real nice.
Yeah, man, shit. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
Well, look. She made sure I got home safe. It was a couple times I was sitting up there, man, like, shit, she ain't gonna come through on this.
Right. Go stand on the bushes? What the fuck?
Came out, look, she used to park around the corner. Look and see who car in the driveway or whatnot.
Stalker, yeah, that's stalker.
You know what I'm saying? And then she ain't see no car pull up by like a certain time. You know what I'm saying? Then she'd come knock on the door. Live.
Wow. Yeah.
Live.
Stalker for sure.
Live. I
She
need
stayed in her lane though.
Hey, look, that's what I'm saying. Look, I perceived it as love. You know what I'm saying? Like, this girl love me. I said everybody don't perceive it that way. You know,
It's just your perception of that.
gotta have the right start.
Right.
I'm
So back to the law of polarity, right? So everything is dual, everything got two sides, right? Like he was just making a point about love and hate. It's the same thing.
Right.
So with having your mind right, understanding that everything has two sides, how could you argue with anybody about anything? Because their truth is their side of it. And there's another side to that.
Right.
So if it's two sides to everything, who can say which side is right and which side is wrong?
That's what
Because both
cognitive,
sides exist.
that's where cognitive dissonance come in, and it plays a major part into why people are the way they are, and they're going to exist based on this law of polarity. It's like it's people out there who want to hear the truth and just throw it out the window. They just refuse to believe it. They refuse to believe the Council of Nicaea.
Look, does not compute at all. They don't understand. It's not gonna get through.
Error.
You're right. Overload.
Control, Alt, Delete.
Right. Get the fuck out. I don't want this. I don't want this no more.
No, look at how much information is out here that you can just tell somebody, and like this new information, right? Boom, you can tell somebody about the law of. Let's move on to the law of rhythm, right? Tell somebody law of rhythm. The law of not giving a fuck is what I like to call it,
Right.
Because that rhythm gonna go back and forth. Sometimes you gonna have it, sometimes you ain't. Either way, it's gonna swing. You have to understand these rhythms,
Right.
because all of these rhythms is built into this concept of time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but if you understand time don't exist,
Right.
and you can take yourself off of these rhythms mentally,
Right.
now you're able to catch it and hold it.
That's called the law of neutralization.
Law of neutralization.
With built within the law of rhythm.
Right.
And it's only for people who even understand these concepts. If you don't understand this, some people are doing these things and not even recognizing them.
Right.
And it's working out for them.
Right.
And that's good.
It's those people who instantly don't give a fuck about something.
Right.
And most people call them assholes.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you be wondering why assholes get far in life, but look how much shit they don't give a fuck about.
We all got a little asshole in us, don't we?
Everybody do.
Real talk.
Everybody do. People
We
think-
recognize that though. We don't deny who we are. We know ourselves.
People think being peaceful is out here. All of that shit.
No, it's cussing the motherfucker the fuck out if they get on your goddamn nerves because they disturbing your peace.
And walking away and being peaceful with that.
And not doing
After
it from
that.
emotion, doing it because that's what you need to hear.
Right.
It ain't emotional.
Right.
You need to just shut the fuck up.
It's-
I'm at peace right
yeah,
here. Shut up.
exactly.
You fucking up my vibe. Just simple. Keep it simple. I stay on a peaceful level. I don't give a fuck about nothing.
Well, here's the whole thing.
You already know.
If I was shooting and killing motherfuckers 10 years ago and I'm not doing that now, shit, I'm peaceful than a motherfucker. Just within itself.
Okay.
I can still be fighting,
Right.
but I ain't killing people.
Right.
My level of Hey.
Right.
Incrementally. You
Yeah.
He's like, bro, what you doing? I ain't killing niggas no more, but I still knock a nigga out. You know
Right.
how niggas be?
The nigga feel good about themselves.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of folks out here that like, I still knock a motherfucker out. You know what I'm
I
saying?
do. I do.
I was
So
so
within
nigga,
the
I
law-
ain't never knocked a motherfucker out.
Within the law of rhythm, you got the law of neutralization.
Right.
Where you understand that this law of rhythm gonna go on regardless. The pendulum gonna swing. You know, everything gonna have a rise and a fall. Everything gonna have a ebb and a flow. Everything. So just as much of happiness as you get, it don't start with the happiness stuff. It come back to the happiness, because when things come around that you bring around from your vibration, that's gonna have you on a lower level. That's gonna have you sad. When they come around, the pendulum gonna swing to the other side, and you're gonna get that much happiness to balance it out, because everything is within balance. But if you understand these things, then you mentally put yourself in a place where you want to be on that pendulum, and you hold yourself there.
Right.
And if anything sways you from there, you recognize it, because you're doing this intentionally. You're holding yourself there, and it's a place of peace, because that's what you were talking about, being at peace. It's a place of peace, because there is no absolute happiness, absolute good, absolute joy, because it has to have a balance to it, because that was built into this reality. Balance was built into this reality, so it's going to balance itself out on the other side, because that's the way the law of rhythm works. Period. All paradoxes may be reconciled.
And that rhythm will get your ass caught up if you're not paying attention. It'll have you running back and forth into relationships. It'll have you, going through the same bullshit, not recognizing it.
Right.
You know? Because it's going to keep on coming back. You have to be conscious enough to recognize the rhythm. That's the way you get off of it. You got to recognize it and then decide not to give a fuck about it.
The law of neutralization.
Yeah.
The law of not giving a fuck.
Exactly.
Because once you understand that everything has two sides and the rhythm goes swing back and forth, once you understand these laws and how they operate, then you can work within the laws so that they don't affect you in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to tune our mind into understanding. Y'all get this Kabbalion. I challenge y'all to go grab y'all the Kabbalion. Real talk. Go grab, you don't even want $20. Go grab y'all the Kabbalion. It's one of the best investments.
They got the ones cheaper than that. They got the ones that's the
Get it
paperback
online.
one. Yeah.
I don't care. Download it. Go to YouTube and listen to the audio book. Check out the Kabbalion. It could change your life if you allow it to, but at the same time, some people that I recommended the Kabbalion to wasn't ready to understand it yet. And then they came back to it years and years later, and they started to understand it on a lower level. See, it tell you in there to read this book 100 times. I'm maybe close to 10 to 15. You know what I'm saying?
The more I read it, right?
The deeper it gets.
Yeah. And it's not that you miss stuff, it's just that you start to see it play out.
Yeah. You can start to see all of these laws.
You start to see it within other people.
Yep.
You start to see the trends. You know what I'm saying? And then the next thing you know, you like, oh, that leads me into the law of cause and effect.
Okay.
Because
causation.
Everything is a cause, everything is an effect within itself.
Yep.
So now that you understand this, you can take yourself and mentally shift things, make new causes mentally.
Yeah,
with
become
your
the
thoughts.
cause and the effect.
That's what, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
So you ain't got to worry about you. This way, you may not know your future, but then you can know your future is going to be a certain type of way, because what you're doing now is going to have your reality what it is later in your future.
They say
Cause and
98%
effect.
of the thoughts you had today are the same thoughts that you had yesterday.
Right.
I can imagine what a millionaire thinking about every day. Or, you know what I'm saying, a wealthy person, And I also know what poor people think about every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Shit, through experience. And I'm talking about, that's why people, when they come out with all of these financial tapes and they telling y'all about the law of attraction, all they really talking about is the law of cause and effect. Really, it's just misunderstood. It's a combination of all of these laws. That's what the law of attraction really is.
Right. That was just a gimmick.
Yeah,
That was just a gimmick.
But the secret is, that's why they tell you gotta think positive.
Right.
That's why you gotta wake up and you start saying this to yourself.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, most people's motivational speeches and shit is based on a story to tell and them telling you to change the way you think. That's it.
Yeah.
And this shit after that is just whether how much you like him or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You listen to this guy over that guy,
Yeah.
or this young lady over that young lady. But listen to all of them, and they all basically telling you the same thing. But they telling it to you on such a basic human level that it's not a spiritual transformation that comes with it.
Right.
That's why a lot of people say, well, the law of attraction don't work. You know? Well, it's
Right.
it's not designed to work for everything.
Right. If you think it will come.
You know? Motherfuckers, I'm trying to get their grass cut with the law of attraction.
Man. For real, try to get anything.
You know what I'm saying?
Man,
It
they
ain't
think,
work.
people think
So I was gonna have $10 million by now. I put the water in the.
Right.
First of all, you gotta let your subconscious mind build up to certain things. Because if it seems like it's too far away, too out of touch, too out of reach, it's not gonna happen. Your subconscious mind gonna laugh at you. Your ego gonna be laughing at you too while you trying to geek up your ego. Your ego go like, yeah, we can get $100 million. Hell yeah, we can get $100 million. Your subconscious mind like, get the fuck out of here. You don't even play the fucking lottery.
Right.
You ain't got a chance.
Most things is going to come to us in ways that we believe that they can come to us.
Right.
You know, if we don't believe that that things can come to us from a certain way, or we don't have our mind open to believe that it can come from a certain other direction, then the things that we receive are only going to come to us through ways that we can think about on a day-to-day basis, which
Right.
limits those things. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why your environment is real important, because your environment, right, is a direct cause. As soon as you open up your eyes,
Yeah.
most people can't get around and change their mental environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
They let their physical environment they let their mental environment become a product of their physical environment, and then they just think that's the way things are supposed to be.
Right. Not
Mhm.
understanding the difference between me and I.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is.
Right. Separation of that self,
Right.
you know, which goes into that law agenda.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Law
law
of
agenda.
agenda. It's built within everything. Everything that exists has that masculine and that feminine spirit within it.
Right.
Everything.
So even yourself, or what you would call yourself, is yourself, or who you think you are, your ego self walking around,
Right.
and your higher self.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
the ego is I.
Right.
You know, the ego is like, I want this, I
Yeah.
want this,
Yeah.
and I'm so tired of this, and this and this and this, and I, and I'm tired of this, and all I wanted was this.
Yeah.
That's what that ego talking all the goddamn time.
You know when the ego really be talking, people don't recognize it though.
Mm-hmm.
When the love one pass. What they say? I'm gonna miss them. Why they leave me? You know what I'm saying? What about the person that's made the transition? You don't say nothing about them. Everything most people say, be selfish. That's what I hear.
Right. Let's put the fun back in funeral.
You feel me?
But
I guess go out with some trumpets or something.
you're right. You know what I'm saying? It's not about
Making
you.
a
You know
party,
what I'm
you
saying?
know?
But you're absolutely right, though. People is so, and people think it's a difference between being like egotistical and like, you know, because when you on your mission, you're on your higher self mission. It's some selfish shit.
Right.
This is a personal journey. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. This ain't no egotistical thing, but you can't take nobody else with you. And when you know that, it makes your journey a lot easier.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't want to leave their grandmas behind.
Attachments.
Right. I'm afraid of how they family
Look
gonna
at you.
feel.
How they gonna look at you?
Mm.
You know, I had to use. That's what I say. I do things is most people consider hard.
Man,
I didn't care what happened. I didn't care.
Your mama cold blooded.
Uh-huh.
Your mama cold blooded, bro.
Why you say that?
Look, man. Ain't nobody gonna stop his mama from believing in who she believes.
Real talk. She been
And
practicing it for all her life.
All her life.
I ain't gonna even try because it'll be a waste of my time.
I'm surprised you still allowing you to be her son.
Well, I mean, you know, when I'm there, I gotta tuck my chain in.
I just took mine.
I'm just in for real. You know, I gotta give her respect because she was when she say, "Ooh, that ugly. Take that off. That goat is ugly. I don't see what you like about it." I'm like, all right, bro. What else can I say? It's respect. You know, we still get along. We don't get along in the same type of relationship that we had when I was going to church and when I was with Christianity and reading the Bible and all of that. But we still got a good relationship with one another. Even though I'm into this occult shit heavy, but
Right.
she is into Christianity just as heavy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we just have to not talk about it. When we're around each other, we don't talk about it. I let them say the grace when it's time. After grace when they bow out.
Right. Exactly.
For real.
It'd be hard, you know what I'm saying? But trying to pull away, you know, look. Law agenda.
Right.
Masculine and feminine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The directive, the direction. You know what I'm saying? The discipline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's that masculine energy.
Uh-huh.
That feminine energy, that creativity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That open-mindedness, that imagination. You know what I'm saying?
That's why that Baphomet got a phallic symbol and it got breasts. Somebody say, yeah, that Baphomet, yeah, that motherfucker look like a transgender to me. I was like, wow. I never thought about it like that.
This is the thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And you look at the world today, and a lot of people don't understand that there even, first of all, is a law of gender.
Right.
That gender manifests into everything.
Right.
People look at people, you see a man, you be like, all right, that's a man. But people, it's estrogen in every man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's the same as it's testosterone in every woman.
Right.
However, you know, by its
Different levels.
Yeah, by its percentage.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, by definition, when we start talking about the law of gender, we understand just by looking at everybody, if you know a little bit of basic science, you already see that it's true. You see what I'm saying?
They go over a lot of people here.
Go over a lot of people. It's balance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why when you try to manifest something, you can sit there and use your imagination all day and that will bring it, but you still have to do something. You still have to add the masculine energy behind it.
That's the will.
The will.
Right. That's that solar plexus chakra.
Right. And when you're doing it the right way, you infuse the energies that you choose to be behind that particular magic.
Right.
You putting love energy behind it. You putting peace energy behind it. You know?
And what that's going to do, because that's the masculine energy and the feminine energy is going to receive the masculine energy. That would be the conscious mind.
Right.
Putting the will of the conscious mind onto the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind absorbing that, taking it in, feeling no energy, right? And birthing whatever idea you put into it, making that your reality, giving birth to that as your reality.
And if you got love in it, love will come out of it. If you doing some shit because you're jealous of somebody else, then that's what's gonna come back. Some old jealousy, hate shit.
That's the type of energy that you put into
You
it.
look. You want to get a whip because you want to floss on the hose.
Right.
Fuck my mans and them around the corner in his wheels. Wait till he see my shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And shit is going down. I'm about to have this music banging. I'm gonna keep the neighbors up. You know how you man, somebody just stole your rim, stole your sounds, bust out your window. But you just said, watch how everybody be hating on me when I'm your love.
You created that reality yourself and don't even know it because your words is powerful.
When you say, I'm going to get this whip to take care of my family, feed my family, and you see yourself going back and forth to work,
yeah,
Yeah,
It's a
that's the
different type of
reality.
energy that
Yeah, you
put
got
on to
love
that.
energy behind that.
That's
you
right.
doing that, you want to take care of your family.
And
That's
your mind
love.
is everything. So when your mind is believing the reasons that it's just perspective.
Yeah.
If it's believing that the reasons that you're doing is for reasons that you believe are positive, rather than think it's gonna be hating on me, then the results is gonna be positive because mentally you put that intention on that item and gave it that intention. So that's what it's gonna produce for you because your words is powerful. Your words cast spells. We is in control more than we actually think. We have more power over what goes on in our day-to-day than we think. We gotta watch our words, watch what we say. It's very important. And when people, this is an example right here. When people pray, right? People pray daily, and I'm not knocking nobody for doing what they doing. I'm just telling y'all what worked for me and what I saw. When you pray, what happens is whatever intention that you're going into that prayer with is the result that prayer is going to deliver back to you. What I mean by that is this. If you're going into that prayer with an intention of fear, if fear is your motive behind why you praying, because you're scared something is going to happen, because you're fearful, so you're praying out of fear, then the result of that prayer that's going to come back to you is going to be fear, because that's the frequency you vibrate on. But when you go into that prayer, who you praying to, don't be silly about it. You know what I'm saying? But when you go into that prayer with positive intentions, looking to manifest something positive in your reality or get some type of positive results, that's the energy that you're going into that prayer with, and that's the results that you're going to get back to yourself.
That's why prayer works.
It does work every time because your words are powerful.
They don't understand that part. But here's the thing. The entity that you pray to still feeds off of it. When you're not taking that credit for yourself and you give that credit to Jesus, oh yeah, you still manifesting some shit, but you also feeding the beast that enslaves you mentally.
It enslaves you by anything that does not tell you or show you to go within is misdirecting you. Anything that's not telling you that all the answers that you need is within yourself is not showing you the right place to go. Because everything that you need, I need, he need, any of us need is right within inside of us. And all we got to do is tap in so that we can let it out. But that's up to us. People don't believe this type of stuff. It's like too simple. You see what I'm saying? Believe what y'all want.
No, actually, here's the thing. You've been programmed. Imagine you out here, you're 30 years old, been thinking one way for all as long as you knew how to think.
Right.
And your mama done told you that you ain't shit. You know?
Subconsciously,
you ain't never been able to hold on to a job.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I'm saying? You got bullied and beat up.
Right.
You know?
Holding all that shit in.
Like the reality is that this type of shit happens to everybody.
Right.
One way or
Traumatic
another.
experiences.
One way or another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Waking up is the understanding is that this is part of that human experience.
Right.
And understanding that even in your higher self, you created those situations in order to wake up and be where you're at now.
Right. See, your chakras teach you about emotions and feelings, right? So your emotions and your feelings is like a detector for you to understand when you're in balance or when you're not in balance. So when you're feeling some type of way and you don't like the way that you're feeling, you need to transmute that energy and bring it back. That's alchemy. Bring it back to the middle to where you want to be at instead of feeling some type of negative way, because all you got to do is change your mind about it. Once you change your mind, because your mind is in control of everything, once you change your mind about the situation will change. Now you ain't got to change it dramatically with the scale of polarity. You ain't got to go from one pole, extreme pole, to the next extreme pole. You can change it gradually and take it out of that negative feeling and bring yourself to a less negative feeling and bring it to a neutral feeling. Then try to take it to a little better feeling. Just start to take control over your mind and don't let your mind control you.
Exactly. Because people don't take it little bit by little bit. That is how you change the polarity. That's how you get out of a negative vibration. It is little bit by little bit. Because first things first, when you go to the negative side of it, you be like, this shit always happen. You know what I'm saying? And fuck this, fuck, because you got a whole bunch of negative energy attached to it.
Right.
You know? So the first thing you gotta do is try to put yourself in the next other person's shoes that shit could be worse.
Always.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
Because before you can start looking at things can be better sometimes, you gotta look at the worst side of shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And what I do is I take it all the way to the worst the shit could possibly fucking be.
Right.
I mean, I take it all the way there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To getting killed or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
Get evicted or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck the worst of the fucking worst shit could be. I go all the way there. And then I laugh at it. I laugh at it like, shit, that shit ain't about to motherfucker happen. For real? Right. I changed that and then I say, well, you know what's really about to happen is this. Then I go to the positive aspect. Then I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna get that. Then I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna get that. Then I start standing on the things that I've done before. Shit, all this shit gotta work because I did that before. I did that before. I did that before. Shit, I did this. If I did all of this shit, how the fuck I'm gonna not be able to pull off this next shit? This shit easy. And you build yourself up. That's how you swing the pendulum.
That's what he's telling y'all right now. These is jewels he dropped. He's telling you from his personal experience because he knows something. From his personal experience, y'all got to take heed and understand. You use these same formulas. Mm-hmm. Use them in your way. Tweak them to work for you. But what he just said was so powerful. You can see why he a titan because of the way he thinks. Mm-hmm. You can see how he can overcome anything because he done put himself through the worst already.
And once you put yourself through the worst mentally, you can't be afraid of it anymore. That's why I laugh at it because this whole shit is designed to keep you into a lower vibration of fear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This whole matrix that's it's really run by our own subconscious mind collectively, which shows you that we are all in a perpetual fucking state of fear. Boom. Right. So now, when you think of the worst shit that can happen, if you remain into that fearful state, see a lot of people, they practice this shit, but they do it the wrong way, and they do it by mistake, and they do it, and then next thing you know, you keep on thinking about the worst shit over and over and over and over and over. Yeah. And then in reality, you end up becoming worse and worse and worse. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, woe is me, woe is me. Yeah. And then next thing you know, now they get evicted, and then the license out. Ain't nobody gonna let them come stay with them. You know what I'm saying? Man. All type of shit. Next thing, this and then not so and so and died. You know what I'm saying? You ain't worse. Yeah, ain't nothing going your way at all.
That's what they call bad luck. That's what they call it.
But it don't start with just all of that at one time. This shit go over the course of sometimes years for people.
Yeah.
And you don't realize you will look up and motherfucker be looking all right. You don't see him in 3-4 years. You be like, damn, you straight. You looking like you might need a little lump or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
a little wake up.
You know what I'm saying? Like 50 say, what do you say? Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie.
Fuck happened to you?
But that's what happens because shit get bad. Niggas get out here, child support get on their head. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, they got 2-3 baby mamas, and you know what I'm saying? And niggas out here, fuck these bitches. They mad. See? Fuck all these hoes. You know what I'm saying?
Not realizing that that we in control of this reality, right?
Yeah.
And when we don't know that, and it happens, like I said, haphazardly, that we creating things that we don't want because we perpetually thinking about these fear things that we don't want.
Right.
And not realizing that if you could visualize what you would really want out of this situation and sit and focus on that every night instead of focusing on how it's going to be the worst situation ever for your ass, because you got a choice.
Right.
You got a choice to think about your future in a negative way, which, why? Why would you do that? You can think about it in a positive way, which sounds better to me because you're making it up regardless. Why not make up some shit that's going to work out for you?
Here's the thing.
Visualize that for those nights instead of harping on the fear, and then you can start to see that reality start to change and become actually what you believe that it can now be.
Here's the trick. Here's the trick. Most people got a fucked up routine before they go to bed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it starts with one, before you go to bed and you get yourself together, right? Before you even start trying to visualize anything, start giving thanks. Period.
Real talk.
Start giving thanks. Start finding things to be grateful for.
Right.
Off the top, all the way until you get to that point of that meditation state.
You're right.
You see what I'm saying?
That sunken place.
Yeah, so you start getting into that sunken place.
Right.
You know?
That state right between going to sleep
Yeah,
and being
that's
awake.
that theta brain waves.
I'm not sure which one it is, but yeah.
So
that.
once you get into there, then start visualizing yourself where you want to be or what you want to do or what you want to have. Or better yet, ask yourself a motherfucking question. Ask yourself if you got, you know what I'm saying, something that you curious about. Don't ask it in the general sense of out of a fear. Ask it out of curiosity.
Okay, give me an example.
You see what I'm saying? So an example would be, let's just say you'd be like, all right, should I go to business with this person or should I not go into business with this person?
Okay.
So you can turn it into a spiritual decision by going to bed and then imagining what that business experience would be like with that person. And leave it open-ended in your imagination.
Okay.
So if it's coming to you in your imagination as an unpleasurable experience, it may not be something that you want to do.
See, drop the jewels again.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you go against that, it's gonna be like, man, something told me I shouldn't have, and all. That's when you get those.
You'll hear me saying that.
Right.
I learned my lesson from saying, man, something told me. No, I do what that something told me every time it tell me. I do that.
Right.
And it get louder and louder. And then it just become like a nudge. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And then you just do it. You just know to do it. It's just intuitive. You just know to do it.
Another thing, when it comes to, is when you're getting ready to go to sleep, right? Mm-hmm. And after you've been gave thanks, and after you been visualized, and you go on, because you're going to go to sleep. When you wake up and you still dreaming, do not move. Do not move. Stay in whatever little curled up position you or laid back or however you was laying when you started to wake up. Do not move. Lay there and recollect, because when you move, it shifts you from out of that dimension all the way. It pulls your spirit all the way back into your body.
Right.
To the point to where those memories of where you was at was just over here. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So in order to be able to keep that recollection, remember more inside of your dreams, lay in the same position when you wake up.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, stay right there.
Stay right there.
Yeah.
If you can, try not to wake up without an alarm clock.
Right.
Because the alarm clock, the first thing you do is jerk up out of your sleep.
Yeah.
You
You're
know
gonna
what I'm
lose
saying?
it.
Yeah, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
You know, but if you can wake up without an alarm clock, you have the pleasure of doing that, and you can wake up naturally and just get on up, just stay laying there, because you're gonna be dreaming, and then you're gonna catch yourself, and then you go, and then now you can start extracting things out of your dream.
Jewels dropping. You better pick them up.
Everything for you to be able to be successful out here.
You feel me?
Right there in your dreams, waiting on you. All you gotta do is just not go to sleep angry.
See?
Stop going to sleep angry.
On purpose, intentionally.
Yeah.
Make sure you go to sleep with a smile. I go to sleep with a smile
Go
on
to
my
sleep,
face.
yeah.
So many
It's
nights.
gonna show you the peaceful path.
So many nights. On purpose, because I know better. I know right now it's starting my tomorrow.
Right.
Right now it's starting my tomorrow, and I'm gonna start my tomorrow on a positive note. I'm always happy. I'm gonna start my tomorrow on a positive note tonight. You feel me?
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Man, shit, we done held it down a little bit.
Hell yeah, for sure. If y'all still with us, appreciate y'all. You know?
Yeah, indeed. Fontaine the Titan.
Man,
You know what I'm
making the
saying?
motherfucking Titan.
And shit, we'll do this again another time. Come back, you know what I'm saying? Don't tell me who I might got on there. You know what I'm saying? It's my dog for life. He wanna walk me up to all of this shit. And I appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you
That's what
coming
I do,
on.
man. I
Bringing the
wake up
Titans
people's
back.
minds, man. I open people's minds up, man. That's what you're supposed to do out here is open people's minds up.
Right.
That's what my mission is, to show you the light. You feel me?
Catch that light, y'all. We done?
We out of
We
here.
did it.
We did it.
Peace.
Peace.
Man, it's still going.